Okay, let's take a look at this switch keyword, which is related to the if-else stuff and the if-else like this stuff. So it's kind of like a different version of if. If something, you do something. So switch chooses statements based on values of an expression. The syntax is like this. So let's look at an example. So here's an example. So we define a variable, we'll call it feelings, and it's consists of these two strings, sad and afraid. Now, it says we know this, for I in feelings, so I can be 1 or 2. If I is 1, then I equals sad. If I equals 2, then I is afraid. Okay, so print switch I. So depending on what I is, we'll say if I is happy, we're going to print this. If I is afraid, we're going to print this. If I is sad, we're going to print this. And if I is angry, we're going to print this. Okay, so what's going to happen? Well, I is going to take on both, because this is the for statement, goes through all of the values of feelings, which are both sad and afraid. So first time it's going to be sad, so it's going to go through here, and it's going to print this one. So it's going to say cheer up. And then the next time, in the for statement, I will be afraid, and then it's going to search through here. It's going to be afraid, so it's going to print afraid. It's going to print, I'm sorry, I is afraid, so it's going to give this. So it's going to print that. There is nothing to fear. Okay? So we have switch is being used here, and and we give this variable which was referenced here, so I can be whatever is in here. So I said I was 1 or 2, but actually I will just be sad or afraid. It's not 1 or 2. So I will be sad first, and then, so the way the switch works is we write, if this is sad, then it's going to find this and print that. If this is something else, it's going to find whatever it is and print that. Okay? So he says this is a simple, switch chooses statements based on the value of an expression. The syntax is switch expression, where the ... represents statements tied to the possible outcomes of the expression. It's easiest to understand how switch works by looking at the example. Okay, so that's switch, and then let's come back to user-defined functions, user-written functions, and we're doing I think the third example, or the second example.